Hey guys, I'm Roll Rider. A park that's pumped out 2 roller coasters in the past 3 years is Seaworld in San Diego. You could tell that they want to add stuff for older audiences and take a break from the shows. Doing this, I thought it'd be a fitting time to rank all 5 roller coasters from worst to best at Seaworld San Diego. But before we start this video, you should go follow my Instagram. I'll put a link in the description below. I post extra content on there and even some sneak peeks, so you should go check it out. Anyways, let's get into the number 5 spots. 5. Journey to Atlantis. All 5 of these coasters aren't bad at all, nor are they kiddie rides. But there has to be a last, and sadly, it's Journey to Atlantis. This coaster is a hybrid between a water ride and a roller coaster. There is a storyline to it, but it's not too clear what it is, and it doesn't focus on it much. At the start of the ride, you lift up a lift hill, and you make a turn which you plummet down a 42-foot hill, which gets you pretty wet. It then slowly carries you to an elevator lift, which brings you up to the roller coaster segment. You make a steep drop, which does a couple of turns, and it gets you even more wet at the end. And that's basically the end of the ride. It doesn't really give you much besides a bunch of water. But it's cool to see a water coaster, as there aren't many in the US. Maybe add some animatronics and make the story better, but besides that, it's not too bad of a coaster. 4. Arctic Rescue. This is the park's newest coaster, opening on June 2nd, 2023. It's a family launch coaster made by Intamin. Its top speed is 40 miles per hour and has 2,800 feet of track. The fun part about this coaster is that it has 3 different launches throughout the ride. This is a pretty enjoyable coaster for the family, but there are way more thrilling rides at the park. 3. Manta. Manta, like Arctic Rescue, is a launch family coaster, but this time, it was manufactured by Mock Rides. It starts with a launch also being its max amount of speed, being 43 miles per hour. In the middle of the ride, it has a boost, maintaining your speed. It has a top height of 54 feet and has 2,800 feet of track. My favorite part about this ride is the beginning, when you're in a tunnel with coral reef screens right before you're about to launch. And during special holidays or events, it changes the screens up. This coaster is one of my favorite family coasters, but the next 2 are far from a family coaster. 2. Electric Eel. Now this is a big step up from Manta. Electric Eel is a Premier Rides launch coaster. You might have seen the same model at other parks. For an example, Superman at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. You start with getting a launch up the hill, which you don't fully make up, and go backwards into a spike, which then you come back up and do make the hill. The hill brings you up into an inline twist, which is easily the best part of this coaster. Then you drop down a hill, which brings you to a non-inverting loop, which is basically an inversion, but it reverts into a hill midway. It's hard to explain. But after this, you're back at the loading station. As you can tell, this coaster is pretty compacted, but the stats aren't bad, having a max speed of 62 miles per hour and a top height of 150 feet. This is a pretty cool coaster, but the number 1 spot takes the cake. 1. Emperor. This coaster is pretty great. It's a dive coaster made by B&M, and it's the only dive coaster in California, which is pretty cool. It has a 143-foot drop, which is 90 degrees. It has a max speed of 60 miles per hour. Emperor has 3 inversions, including a barrel roll, a corkscrew, and this thing, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce. I don't have too much say on this coaster, as I've only ridden one other dive coaster, being Valraven, but the thing I can say is that this is the best coaster at SeaWorld San Diego. Well, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, then you can hit the like and subscribe, as it helps a lot. And remember to follow my Instagram, of course. This is a fun park to come to once or twice a year, but it really deserves more roller coasters, which they're probably going to add sooner or later. Anyways, with all that, I'm out.